Hey everyone, this is Kevin T. Rodriguez, film critic of iCritic.net, and I want to apologize in advance if there's any background noise. We're having some plumbing issues, and it's 4th of July. Well, it's the 5th of July technically, but there's always some people who are still shooting fireworks off at ungodly hours. So if any of that shows up, I'm sorry. But I did want to make this video because last week was the final week of Toys R Us. Now, you have seen the tribute videos. You have seen the people looking at the abandoned buildings, looking longingly at what once was, hoping that it would come back. Maybe. Who knows? I guess anything's possible. KB Toys might be coming back. But in the meantime, many of us made our last trek out, and we made our last Toys R Us purchase, which thankfully they were willing to indulge me. They also gave me this Babies R Us bag, which these bags might ironically be the most valuable and memorable thing I get from this whole thing. But I did buy some toys. I don't know how many of them I actually needed, and some of them I probably would not have bought if they weren't on sale. I'm sure most people are aware. But, you know, it's Toys R Us. You go there one last time, you want to get one more batch of toys, and that's what I did. So let's take a few minutes and look at what was still available at 90% off at Toys R Us. Alright, so the first thing I got was this Pokemon toy. I'm not entirely sure what this does, but it says limited edition right there. And it says on the back, a trainer's journey never ends. Each generation befriends new Pokemon and battles new dangers. Explore the world of Pokemon. And I guess it's just an action figure. Apparently this is a limited edition action figure though. I mean, it's got gold box and everything, so... And it's celebrating, I'm guessing, the 20 years, which the 20th year of Pokemon was a little while ago, so that gives you an idea how long this was on the shelf. So, that I bought just because it's Pokemon. You know, I don't really intend to open it, but there you go. Okay, now this thing I was definitely surprised to see there. A Game of Thrones action figure of Rob. And there's a few reasons I'm surprised to find this. One, it is based off an R-rated show, and Toys R Us gets a lot of flack when they carry toys on R-rated products. Look up their Breaking Bad controversy. But this is part of the Legacy Collection, which I was under the impression was sold to collectors. It's number 11. It's of a popular character. Interestingly, you do have a $19.95 price sticker on it, with Toys R Us calling for $14.99, $2 on the last day. Toys R Us, and it's in very good condition with the exception of some dents in the corner. This is practically a brand new toy. It was just sitting there on the shelf alone, nothing else around it. Of course I grabbed it, and yeah, it was one of those weird finds, that's all. However, if you really want a weird find, you had to look at their DVD section. Now, there was a lot of really weird stuff. The most mainstream thing I saw was a Barbie movie, which was recent enough to be in a Blu-ray combo pack with a digital copy. But I was drawn to Wish Kid, the complete series. For those of you who are not aware what this is a 13-episode 1990s TV show starring Macaulay Culkin, who starred in movies like Home Alone, The Good Son, and Richie Rich. He has since gone a little, you know, he's different now, let's just put it that way. But at one point, he was a pseudo enough celebrity that they decided to give him a cartoon show. Now, I don't know if it got canceled because of low ratings, because he was at one point the biggest star in the world. I think the biggest logical reaction, or sorry, not reaction, but reason for this thing getting canceled is because he just became too expensive to make a TV show out of, and he did some live action sequences. And now his star's fallen so much so that this was it was $5 if I didn't get it for 90% off. Thing was 40 cents. All 13 episodes. It's going to be interesting to re-watch this thing. Hey, does anyone out there remember Amiibo? I mean, they still make them, and I still get Amiibo, but apparently they are not the craze they once were, because I managed to get several Amiibo at very cheap prices. Now, granted, these are Animal Crossing Amiibo, and they pretty much only work with Animal Crossing. The things that they do for other games is not much, so maybe that's why they were still there. But look, these things would have normally... I'm holding like $50 worth of Amiibo right here. Do I have another one in here? I thought there was one more. I guess not. But, okay, maybe not 50. Maybe closer to 40. But 90% off? It's like $5 for all of these? I don't even have the Animal Crossing game for the Wii U. I guess I'm going to have to pick it up. I think I saw it at $5 at GameStop. It's kind of a shame to think that Animal Crossing really is on its last legs. Interesting, Toys R Us also had music. Now, a lot of the music they had I wasn't interested in. You know, it's just like, you know, kids' bops and stuff. But they did have the Captain Underpants soundtrack. Now, I already opened this because I wanted to listen to it on the way home. But this has Weird Al Yankovic doing the theme song, and it's very good. It also has Andy Grammer and Adam Lambert. So, yeah, and a pretty decent score of what little is on here. Captain Underpants, which you can stream on Netflix, by the way, as of this recording, is definitely an underrated DreamWorks movie. It's not a masterpiece by any means, but it's real goofy fun. And the only reason I don't own it is because I saw it in theaters in 3D, and the 3D was so good, it's really hard to watch it in 2D afterwards. So, but I do have the soundtrack now. Probably the most important thing that I got there is, let's see, this is kind of big, but this is an official Toys R Us employee t-shirt during the holidays. This is what they wore, you know, when it was Christmas and everyone was decked up in these green shirts. This is a 4-time extra large shirt, though, which means I won't be wearing it anytime soon. Not only am I not a 4XL size person, I'm actually losing weight. But I wanted to have some Toys R Us employee uniform. It doesn't have the Toys R Us logo, but anyone who shopped at Toys R Us during the holidays will recognize these famous... Oh, actually, I take it back. It does have Toys R Us on the shirt. Right there. So, I guess, you know, it's funny. I think a lot of it... To think of how many Toys R Us employees just wanted to get out of those uniforms, and here I am treasuring owning the uniform. And of course, finally, we have the Toys R Us bag. I don't know. I do have old retail bags from stores no longer with us. I actually have a bunch of vinyls, 45s, that are still in their Tower Records bags. So, you know, when the store is gone, these are pretty special. So this will probably be the thing that I end up keeping the most of. So at the end of the day, not a whole lot of special stuff. I mean, you picked up some Amiibos, a Pokemon toy, Game of Thrones toy, and Wish Kid and Captain Underpants. All of this stuff, $18. I mean, wow. But you know what? I was happy to do it. I was happy to give them one more purchase, even if it wasn't a huge purchase. And some people say, well, where were you when Toys R Us was around? Why weren't you buying from them when they weren't liquidating? And the reality is I was. Like 2 months before they started liquidating, I needed to get a Paddington doll for Valentine's Day. And rather than buy it online, I went to Toys R Us and they had tons of them and I bought one. And then I bought an Amiibo, a Ness Amiibo that I hadn't found for a while. So I was still buying a Toys R Us even before they were liquidating. Shame more people didn't do it. I'm definitely going to miss them. So tell you what, folks, why don't we bring the conversation back to you? What was your final purchase at Toys R Us? What were some of the things you got? What were your feelings on the last day? Mine were of genuine sadness, and now when I pass all the Toys R Us, it's really hard to see the fact that the logos still light up, but there's no store there. That's just really sad. But what were your experiences? What were some of your favorite memories of Toys R Us? I would love to know. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy the videos I make, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's totally optional, but even as little as $1 a month goes a long way to helping the channel run smoothly. And before we leave, let's have a look at one more Toys R Us commercial, just for old time's sake. Please try not to cry too much. Have a good one.
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. There's a million toys at Toys R Us that we can play with. From bikes to trains to video games. It's the biggest toy store there is. I don't want to grow up, 'cause if I did, I wouldn't be a Toys R Us kid.
I love you, Grandpa.